4 fastest and cheapest Madden 20 Ultimate Team coins. Make sure you guys go check out my sponsor, EasyMut.com. Use code VENM at checkout for 5% off. Yo, what's up? It's on Fire here, back in the video, and today I'll be bringing you guys my full Green Bay Packers defensive ebook. Now, before I start the video, I want to let you guys know that I do have a written version of this ebook. I'm going to leave it in the description and pinned down in the comment section. It's going to have every written setup that I go over in this video, as well as timestamps to every single play. Spent a lot of time on that. Make sure you guys go check it out. You guys have been recommending that I put written setups on all my videos, so I'm going to start and continue to do that. Now, formations I'm going to go over in the ebook are going to be 3-4 odd, nickel 3-3-5 wide, cover 2, or not, nickel 2-4-5 odd, briefly, big nickel over G, big dime 2-3-6 will, and 1-4-6. So with that being said, let's go ahead, start the video. We're going to be in the 3-4 odd formation, and I'm going to start out with a blitz, and it's going to be to defend the pass. It's going to be the pinch dog 2 press. Let's go ahead, hop into that. And yeah, I guess the only personnel subs that I would recommend for this is to go ahead, just have some fast outside linebackers. The setup here is going to be base a line, then you're going to go ahead, pinch linebackers, blitz all linebackers, and contain. I've gone over this play in a couple of videos, multiple videos actually. It's definitely my favorite setup in the game. It's the blitz that I run the most. I just am very comfortable out of the formation. I practice a lot of adjustments. I'm not going to go over it too much, but let's go ahead. Actually, I'm going to go over a little passy I have out of I-form as well. But here's a look at the little setup. You're going to go ahead and be using this strong safety on the side opposite of the trip. So whatever side has the least amount of receivers, you can use that. And I'll try to show it against a different formation so you guys can get a different look. But here's a look at the setup again. I usually like to leave those soft squats. If you want, you could put cloud flats. But to the side that I use her, I always like to have a soft squat because those will actually defend streaks and other routes. But you guys see, we go ahead, get that pressure instantly. Now, you don't have to contain if they don't have a mobile quarterback. So if they don't have an escape arch quarterback, you don't have to contain, and you will still get pressure. I just contain usually every time just because of habit. Again, you're base aligning, pinching those linebackers, blitzing all linebackers, and contain, using the safety to the weak side of the field. And yeah, let's go ahead, snap that ball, boom, using everything, and we get the pressure very quickly. Now, I want to show you guys my adjustments against a different formation. Let's just go to this wide trips. For example here, now against something like wide trips, I'm going to actually man up one of my players. So what I'm going to do is set up the blitz the same exact way. Baseline, pinch all linebackers, blitz all linebackers, and contain. But what I'm going to go ahead and do is actually man up this X cornerback. Now, against forms where there's a wide receiver out wide, you can do this, but like against that trips tight end offset, I couldn't because it was the tight end and the corner wasn't man aligned. You could also go ahead and press if you wanted to. You're really going to have the good press corner, otherwise you do have potential to get burnt. And also when you press, those inside linebackers are going to go ahead, hover on the offensive lineman. This corner shouldn't really be a worry because you do have that safety, and again, you're going to be using the safety to the side that you have the player manned up. In this situation, I really don't have to worry about X. I'm just worrying about A on a route, RB, and you can really defend a lot of things if you have a good fast safety. I recommend getting lurker on at least one of your safeties and all those good abilities, just so that you can use him and be able to make plays on a ton of receivers. Again, one last time, I'm just going to base align, pinch linebackers, blitz all linebackers, and contain. Against a form like bunch setup that you could go to, and this actually does shoot through against bunch, crazy enough. This player bar, I'm pretty sure you should come through. But against bunch, what I like to do is just shade outside, and then I'm going to go ahead and man up that player again, use the free safety. If you do something like that, make sure you watch for any deep posts from that number 83 David Moore player, because if they run deep corner or a different setup, then it could be wide open. But there you guys see, that's pretty much it for the blitz. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys a pass defense out of this play as well. And this one specifically, I use it to defend I formation. I'm going to go over a run defense after I go over this passy out of the same play. But basically, this is to defend like strong close. It can also be defended if you see someone try to pass out of I form a lot, like with a hot route master. So I'm just going to come out in the play, and I actually found this setup yesterday. What I'm going to go ahead and do is, again, I don't really have to baseline here, so I'm just going to pinch my linebackers. This gives a little blitz look. Now against classic I form, if they're a runner, don't run this. I'm going to show you guys a way better run D after this, but if someone's passing on you, strong close isn't a very good run formation. This is a setup I go to. What you're going to do is just basically set up the blitz the exact same way. Now, it actually is a little bit better against something like I form close. I'm not sure if they have that in the playbook, but just to show you guys, I'll go ahead and motion Hollister out. This is basically like an I form close look. And what I'm going to do is sort of man up these safeties. I'm going to leave my soft squats on the field because a lot of times out of I form close or close slot, the players are going to try to put those receivers on corner routes, and they're going to try to burn you deep. Now, you leave those soft squats to defend the corner routes. You also have these players manned up in case they're on streaks. And then what I like to do is man up one of these linebackers on the running back, because a good player will try to do that wheel setup. So I'll do something like this, and then user this linebacker. You're still sending 5 people, and all you have to do watch with your user is probably any deep posts. But actually what I go ahead and do is just put corners at my safety position so that they have high man coverage ratings and they end up bagging. So again, here's a look at the setup. All I have to worry about is the tight end, like I said. Boom. In this case, they actually sent the fullback out on a route, but you guys see everything is absolutely bagged. Those safeties will be able to cover a streak, especially with the soft squats. Soft squats will follow a streak route until anything else is in their zone, so that's nice to know. So one more time, set up the blitz the same way. Pinch, blitz all linebackers contain. Cross man those safeties up. Not cross man, just classic man. If you do cross man, you do have the potential to actually get burnt. As I didn't mean to motion that dude out. Let's motion Hollister. And again, here's the setup. Man up those safeties on the same side corners and man up A on the running back. If you see them sending their fullback out on routes a lot, make that adjustment. You're still sending 5 people, so you should be able to get pressure quickly. You guys see, boom, we just got instant pressure. Especially if you have pass rush ability, you'll be creating a one-on-one. But with that being said, let's go ahead, hop into the run D. It's going to be out of the Edge Blitz 1. This is with that 245 patch that just came out. This is probably my new favorite run D back again. You guys see Edge Blitz 1. Now, you're not going to baseline for this play, and this one's going to defend the stretch very well as some other runs. It defends dive defends dive great as well. So what you're going to do is, you guys see I'm not baseline. If you do have your auto alignment to base, you just have to baseline again. You guys see you want the safety in the box. Setup, you're going to go ahead, pinch your D-line, spread your linebackers, and you guys see since I clicked onto this linebacker, he's actually not going to spread. So you have to move him manually. Don't click onto him, just stay on this dude. Alright, so you pinch your D-line, spread your linebackers. Something you can do is go ahead, press if you want. So I could press. This brings the safety down a little bit, and this is the one you're going to be using anyway. And then I'm going to go ahead and manually blitz A. So set up, pinch D-line, spread linebackers, press, and then you can blitz A. Pressing is optional if you are getting burnt. If you have slow corners, don't press. Something I'm also going to do is shade over the top so that the corner man coverage doesn't get burnt. And something I like to do, just an extra adjustment that's not needed, you can go ahead and put that opposite guy in a soft squat, because soft squats just seem to play the run very well. But you guys see run stretch, it should be getting absolutely bagged. Even if that player somehow doesn't come through, and it probably was because I did click onto my linebacker there during the setup, you should be there with your user and you should be able to get over there. So again, setup, pinch D-line, spread linebackers, blitz all linebackers, manually blitz A, and that's it. All those pressing, other adjustments are optional. This is all you need now. For some reason, I actually did get, he actually did run the ball well. I'm not sure exactly why that's happening, but let's go ahead and just hop into a different stretch. Nobody really runs eye tight anymore because they did patch that motion stuff, so this shouldn't really be a worry. But again, the same setup. Pinch D-line, spread linebackers, blitz that safety as well. And you guys see, there you go. So the safety comes through there. What usually happens. I'm not sure why it wasn't working on those other runs, but that shouldn't really be a worry. Nobody, like I said, nobody's running eye tight anymore. The runs I come across are eye close. the occasional I-form wing. I don't even really face that anymore. I-form slot a little bit. But again, just a super easy setup. And if they do pass out of it, you're still sending some heat. So you should be able to do it. If you want to get a little bit more adjusty, something you can do with the run D is you could actually put that player, that safety, in a spy if you want. And I think he might shoot the run a little bit better, at least on the outside. You guys see, there we go. It opened up that linebacker. So maybe that setup is a little bit better. I might have been tripping, but again, here's a look at that setup. Go ahead, snap the ball, and you guys see linebacker shoots through perfectly. And yeah, it's pretty much it. Let's go ahead, hop into our next setup. It's actually going to be another run D. It's going to come to us out of the nickel 3-3-5 wide formation. Now, I already uploaded a video on this. I'm just going to go over it again in case people haven't seen that video, if you're new to the channel or anything. But it's going to be out of this cover two man under, classic setup. And let's go ahead, hop into that. Now, this setup wasn't patched. It is still going, so that's definitely nice. But the setup, what you're going to do is just press, spread D-line, blitz all linebackers, and put your safeties in spies. Very simple setup. And you're going to go ahead, be using this middle linebacker, and you're just going to move him back a little bit. You can go ahead, shade over the top as well so you don't get burnt on that right side. And yeah, the safeties are key. They're going to go ahead, shoot dive, shoot stretch, shoot any run very well. If they do miss, you do have your user, but you guys see Harrison Smith going ahead shooting it. Like I said, I kind of prefer that 3-4 odd setup just because it has more tackle for loss potential than I think this one does. In this setup, you're not really going to be getting too many tackles in the backfield, but nonetheless, you still shouldn't be giving up any big plays. I've given up barely any big plays out of this setup. So again, the setup's press, spread that D-line, blitz all linebackers, and put those safeties in spies. There you go. User this middle linebacker. And let's go ahead, snap the ball. You guys see Harrison Smith there, our user there. Make sure you get a good user so that you don't get juked out or anything. Let's go ahead, try to show it against a different run. Let's go to I-form wing. Again, press, spread D-line, blitz all linebackers, put those players in spies. Now, if you put those players in spies out of any set, it can still work. Like I could do it out of a cover 2 sink, which I'll show another pass D against I-form out of. But again, here's just the basic setup. Let's go ahead, snap the ball. You guys see those safeties shoot the gap very well. I know Anthony Harris is a little bit slow, but if you get two good safeties and not two fast players, they should be able to bag. That's pretty much it out of the cover 2 man. If you see someone, like let's say you set up your run D and boom, like this. Let's say you see someone start adjusting, you see him make 4 hot routes. Something that if you don't have time to audible and reset your defense, something you can do that still does work very well is something like this. Now this player should be manned up. You still have everybody manned up on the field besides the running back, and then you have those 2 flat zones in case those running backs are on the wheel routes, but that's obviously not going to defend the run very well. It's more of a pass defense, and those safeties definitely are crucial to the run D. Anyways, I'm going to show you guys another pass D I run out of I-form. This one's going to come out of the same formation, and it's going to just be this cover 2 sink play. Now, let's go ahead and hop into that. Again, this is for the players that run like Hot Route Master out of like I-form. Let's say they run those I-form close. They have those 2 receivers with abilities. You kind of have a feeling they kind of want to pass the ball as well, especially because of all the good run D in this game. But here you go. The setup's going to be, I like to go ahead, press, and it's going to be very similar to that setup we had out of the pinch dog 2 press. You're going to man up these safeties on the opposite players. So I'll do something like this, and then what I'm going to go ahead and do is put this middle linebacker on the middle third, and then I'm also going to man up this player. Let's say I'll just man him up on a running back. I probably should have flipped the play just so that this player is on the strong side. I'll man him up on A, man this player up on X, and man him up on B. It might be a lot, it might be confusing. It is better written in the written version, but you guys see there's the setup. You have everybody manned up. You have those 2 soft squats. You have the middle third, and you have your user right there. This one, you're blitzing 4 instead of 5, like that pinch dog 2-1, and I do prefer the 3-4 odd one a little bit better. You guys see everything is absolutely bagged, and you will get pressure eventually. You guys see we get the pressure, we get the sack, and nothing was really open. You still do have your user, so if one of your man coverage players does get burned, let's say on a post, then that's all you have to worry about. The corner routes should be bad though, because you do have soft squats as well as the man coverage. Sometimes when the man coverage is coming across the field, it seems like they jump the routes better. So yeah, I'll go over it one more time. Press, spread D-line. You're going to set up like the run D. It's sort of the same way. Actually didn't mention that, but you probably do want to spread your D-line. You don't have to. But again, I might actually flip the play here. Press, do all that. Man up this player on, man up your free safety on X, man up A on B, and then man up that slot player on A. Put this player in the middle third, and then user this linebacker out here. There we go. Boom. Using everything. B clamped. Even if they throw B, I still have those players on the other side of the field. You still have your soft squats. If you want, you could go ahead and throw cloud flats. I personally like the soft squats a little bit better as an aggressive playing zone against corner routes and posts. So that's going to do it for our pass D out of this cover 2 sink, out of this 3-3-5 wide. Let's go ahead and hop into the next form, nickel 2-4-5 odd. Now they actually did unfortunately patch this run D. It still is a good run D. It's not terrible. I'm just going to go over it briefly, but yes, it was patched. It doesn't shoot. You don't get those sacks behind the line of scrimmage. That is very unfortunate, but I'll still go over the setup. You want to run your linebacker to that strong side. What you're going to do is just press. Blitz all linebackers contain. That was the setup. And then you're going to use this player and bring him down a little bit. Now, like I said, you're not going to shoot the gap, but you still can make things happen with your user. Now, actually, I'm flip the run, but you guys see, it's still a good run D. Just because it was patched and it's not as good as before, it doesn't make it a unusable run D. This is still a good run D, and people probably are underestimating this. They probably don't think it's good. If you want to get a little bit glitchy, you could put this player in a spy. This is only if you know they're running, because obviously nobody's on B right now. But again, this is still a very good run D. You guys see, he still did tackle him in the backfield. He just broke a tackle, unfortunately, and we're still tackling him for no gain. So again, the setup for this is just going to be press, blitz all linebackers, contain, and you can use this player. If you want to get glitchy, put A in a spy. You don't have to. But like I said, you're not tackling him in the backfield, but you're still not giving up big plays. There you guys see, it does have big play potential. He just had a one-on-one. We do make the tackle there, but like I said, it's definitely not as good as the 3-3-5 wide and the 3-4 run Ds I showed you guys. And you know what I'm saying? That's just, it is what it is. Like I said, you could still run it if you want, and it is in the Packers. It was one of the things that made the Packers defense so good. You guys see he's right there. Anthony Barr, you can see that he's going to get that sack in the backfield, and he gets picked up at the last second. But number 40 actually did still get him in the backfield. Again, you're just pressing, blitzing linebackers, containing. Go ahead, snap it. Anthony Barr so close. But you guys see number 50. Seems like he's coming through every time. So it's still, you know, a usable run D in this game. And I think it will be underrated just because people see patched. They think, oh, I can't even run this. No, you just got to go in practice mode, try it, see if it still works. And you guys see, I did consistently stop the run there. There was only one play that seemed like it could have burnt me for a touchdown. But like I said, I prefer edge blitz 1 or that 2-man under. Now, next form, let's go ahead and hop into this big nickel over G. Let's just make some subs real quick, and we are good to go. The plays I'm going to be going over out of this big nickel over G are just simply the cover 3 and the cover 2. You do have to set those in your audibles because they aren't in it. Starting out with this cover 3, this is probably the best stock cover 3 you can run in the game, in my opinion. I just feel like this big nickel over G is super annoying to go against. Simply setup you're going to go ahead and do is I usually don't like to baseline because I like this safety in the middle of the field. You can if you want. So don't base a line, and then what I like to do is just pinch my D-line, slant outside. If they do have those running quarterbacks contain, it's better if you don't contain, I'll tell you that, just because those outside guys get glitchy shed animations. But if you have to contain, make sure that you are containing against Micah Vick and the Lamar Jacksons of the world. And then all you have to do is shade underneath, shade over the top, and then shade outside, especially against bunch and other forms where corner routes are heavy in the offense. Go ahead and do that. And boom, you guys see everything is bagged. And look how glitchy that animation was that Danielle Hunter got. You might even want to, something you could do is just spy him. Like, even with a mobile quarterback, I still want this player on a glitchy shed animation. I could spy one of those interior D linemen and still make it a usable defense. So again, I'm shading underneath, shading over the top, and shading outside. Pitching that D-line, slanting outside. This play I put a spy up. And yeah, it's just probably the best stock cover 3 against something like bunch. I might be in a deep half to defend that one play touchdown. But you guys see, everything is bagged. Rushing 3, we still get very quick pressure. And overall, it's probably anytime I am facing a bum or someone who's not good at the game, I like to just go in big nickel over G. You can run stock cover 3 and it will absolutely bag their life. Going to the next play, it's going to be this cover 2. Now, cover 2 is going to be very similar to this cover 3. Again, more of a stock defense. Now, I'm not sure why the safety decided to run down. Some glitchy stuff happens in big nickel over G. It's actually pretty annoying. But what you're going to do is just, again, pinch D-line, slant outside. Just put this player in it inside third. And then out of this, since you do have the cornerback, I might man him up on the slot receiver and then just use this player. Go ahead, snap the ball there. Boom, you guys see everything's bagged, and we end up getting pressure. So that's probably my favorite stock cover 2 setup. In the defense, like I said, there's some other good cover 2 setups I'll show later, but these are just basic setups. Slant out in, or pinch D-line, slant outside, man up A. I'm in the wrong play. Man up A on RB, put A in that inside third, and you are good to go. Again, just a very good stock cover 2 setup. You guys see those sheds are going to go absolutely crazy, especially if you have a D-line ability, a superstar rusher on the outside. You should be getting crazy animations. And yeah, it's pretty much it for the big nickel over G. It's not my favorite form, but it's definitely a decent form to run. That's going to take us to our next formation, the big time 2-3-6 will. Now, I'm going to go over a couple plays, cover 3 cloud, as well as the DB Fire 2. This form is basically like a dollar, just with a different name. It's literally the exact same thing as dollar. And I'm going to show you guys the blitz that I like to run out of this. I haven't run this formation in a while, just because I've been running big dime 1-4-6. That's definitely better in my opinion. But what you're going to go ahead and do is just slant outside, contain. This is for DB Fire 2, and then just move these 2 corners into the contain. Usually this player on the right is automatically in the contain, and this one is absolutely going to be dominant against the gun bunch formation. That's one situation where I actually will run it. There you guys see it just got stopped because of the glitchy angle route, so I'm at just audible plays there. Let's just go to a clear out, SE out. Sometimes that corner on the right will get bumped just because there are receivers running routes. So just go ahead, slant outside, contain, move this corner in so he's on the contain. And then you could go ahead, use one of these linebackers if you want. You could put one of them in the inside third and just use the middle of the field yourself. But you guys see the running back, he definitely did block the player there. Otherwise, we would have got pressure. It's overall not a consistent blitz, I would say, but you still can get pressure. Obviously, if they rock with the max protect, which a lot of players will do out of gun bunch, then you can't really expect to get pressure only sending that 5 people. Big dime 2-3-6 is worse than big dime 1-4-6, but you guys see we're still getting glitchy shed animations, and you're still creating some one-on-ones for your players. So it is still a usable form. I'm not going to go into it too depth. I don't even run the formation. I run it rarely myself. You guys see I barely have any play calls. The next form I'm going to go, or next play, is going to be this cover 3 cloud. I actually went over this in a video. You can go check that out if you want a little bit more in-depth explanation. But again, this is more coverage heavy, and what I'm going to go ahead and do right off the bat, I like to press, and then what I'm going to do is just put A in a vert hook. This is the most stock setup you can run. Just shade over the top. That's going to give you a cloud flat. And then what I like to do is shade outside. Then the last thing is just pinch your D-line and slant outside. Give you those better shed animations. And then just use this hook curl. You have this 3-rec, which is a very glitchy zone, as well as the vert hook. If you wanted to against something like bunch, you could man him up. I usually like to leave the vert hook there, but if someone's attacking you with corner routes, that's an adjustment that you can make. So you guys see everything is bagged, and that player on the right is going to get absolutely crazy animations. For some reason, he's like slanted sideways when you pinch your D-line. Again, the setup, I like to press, shade over the top. You could shade outside as well. Put A in a vert hook, pinch that D-line, and slant outside. Danielle Hunter is going to get an absolutely crazy animation there. You guys see everything is bagged. 3-rec, vert hook, and all you have to do is worry about the left. Keep in mind you are only sending 3 people. You shouldn't be expecting that kind of crazy pressure. You guys see we do end up getting pressure eventually, but don't expect instant pressure. You're rushing 3. Be realistic here. One last time, A and a vert hook, pinch your D-line, slant outside, shade over the top, shade outside, and you are good to go. Cover 3 cloud is actually one of the most annoying defenses to play against. I just always struggle against it. It can just be stock out of any formation. It just throws me off a little bit. So it is very annoying defense to run. It's a good defense to run stock as well. You guys see if you run it stock, this player is just in a hook curl. I personally prefer the vert hook zones over the hook curls to defend the seams and other routes like that. But yeah, it's going to do it for the Big Dime 236. Let's head into the last formation of the ebook, the Big Dime 146 formation. Now, this is probably the best pass defense. We all know it as a meta defense. And 3 plays I'm going to go over are cover 2 sink, DB sting 2 buzz, and this cover 3 sky. Now, starting out cover 2 sink. If you want, you can go ahead, come out and DB sting 2 buzz, and then audible to the cover 2 sink. That's something that I personally like to do. You don't have to do it, but it also just gets those linebackers on the line of scrimmage. And it can be very annoying. So let's go ahead, just hop out in that. And you guys see, all you're going to do is, since you are on the DB sting 2 buzz, you're just going to audible, cover 2 sink. And then you are basically good to go. You guys see, you just have those linebackers on the line of scrimmage. Setup is basically all you have to do is just slant D-line outside, contain, and that's all you have to do. Make sure that that cornerback on the left is in the contain, and if they just block 5, you'll be getting that instant pressure. Russ has the ability where he evades the sack, so I probably should have used a different quarterback, but you guys get it, get the gist. Like I said, you're coming out in that DB sting 2 buzz every time. You're audibling to cover 2 sink. That's just it just looks intimidating to run the ball against. If you come out with those players backed up, let's just back these players up real quick. I can't click on. Like, again, it looked like this. It makes it, oh, I can easily run the ball against this. And Big Dime 146 isn't the best run D, so they can pick up a decent gain of yardage. Now, again, just the stock setup, slant outside, contain. That's all you have to do. Make sure that your corner's in the contain. For some reason, he loves to just run into the O-line there. Maybe it was because he's too far away. I'm not sure what the reasoning is. Like, it's usually better if he's just closer. So again, slant outside, contain. I actually kind of like to bring him in just a little bit closer. And let's go ahead and snap the ball again. And the reason that he's getting picked up is just simply because of that table route that's running in the way. Oh my god, I'm trying to run into a sack and I can't. But next, I'm going to go over the setup. Let's say they max protect. You still want to send 4. Boom, everybody's blocking. You're still going to be coming out in this DB sting 2 buzz, audible to cover 2 sink, slant outside, contain. And then I like to move him in a little bit right there. All you're going to do is just make sure that this player is backed up. The way you do that is you actually have to click onto him, and then you have to like push your left stick up and click off at the same time. That's just going to move him back. And what you do is just man him up on Y. Just go ahead, snap the ball, and you guys see sending 4, instant sack. Obviously, you guys understand that Russell has agile extender. He's going to break every sack. That is a very good ability I recommend using. I use it on my own quarterbacks. But you guys understand, I just sent 4 against a max protect and got instant pressure. Again, let's slant outside, contain. Just audibling, slant outside, contain. Pushing these linebackers back, and then just man them up on the running back. Let's go ahead, block 8 for the memes, and you guys see it should still come through. Boom. I guess 8 blocks it, but keep in mind you have 7 other players in coverage. Excuse me. So you should be able to get that pressure. Anyways, let's go ahead, hop into our next play. This DB Sting 2 Buzz. What I like to do out of this is just going to be baseline, blitz all linebackers, and contain, or slant outside and contain. You don't have to slant outside if you don't want, because you're not. This is just a send 7. You make sure that you don't try to click onto those linebackers so they are in the line of scrimmage. This is going to be super annoying. You're going to have to max protect. You can't scramble out. You're just going to have to stand tall in the pocket. Usually what I like to do is man up X on X and then user this player. You still have that cover 2 shell on the right. You have this player in man coverage. And you're just hovering the line with your safety. Boom. Everything is bagged. And, we're going to get that pressure. Again, DB Sting 2 Buzz. You have those players on the line of scrimmage. Blitz all linebackers. Like I said, I like to baseline. Blitz all linebackers. Contain. And just man up X on X here. Boom. Everything. You could also shade to the outside if you want. You could shade over the top if you want the cloud flat over the soft squat. And then, like I said, I like to use your free safety or the side that you're manning up your player on. And I like to just hover right here. He's going to see this. He's 100% going to max protect. And boom. Everything. Obviously, I didn't max protect there, but you guys see 7-man. Even if I do max protect, it's going to be difficult for him to get the ball out. And it's just an overpowered and frustrating formation, I'll say that. You guys see, there we go. Blitz all linebackers, contain, snap the ball, boom. That is they just blocked 7 right there. We did just get that. Oh my god, he just broke 2 sacks. Agile extender is overpowered, but you guys saw we got instant pressure, sending 7 on 7. Especially at a bunch, it's super difficult to block. When I was running bunch, it was just a pain because you can't run the ball either, because that sweep, you'll just get shedded. Either that corner on the left will shoot down and end up tackling you, or his user. There's just not a lot of stuff to do, especially at a bunch. But again, here's the setup. Just baseline, blitz all linebackers, contain. User this free safety. You can hover if you want. You don't have to hover. And you guys see there, it actually got picked up pretty well. But he's still not getting a lot of time to throw. And 4 defenders versus 3 receivers, you should be able to bag. And yeah, that's pretty much it for this DB Sting 2. Let's go ahead, audible to our last play, cover 3 Sky. Now, cover 3 Sky, it's again going to be very simple, very similar to this cover 2 Sink. All you're going to do, slant outside and contain. There you go, that's all you have to do. Here you go. Basic stock cover 3, usually what I like to do is shade underneath, shade over the top as well. And if you are prone to getting cover 3 beat, you could put those player outside corners in deep halves as well. If your corner isn't in the contain, make sure that you just slide him in right there, and you are good to go. You guys see, it's not going to be as money as the cover 2 Sink ones, but you could go ahead and mix up coverage. And as you guys saw, those players are on the line of scrimmage. It looks the exact same as DB Sting 2. And yeah, it's just overall a great blitz if you want to mix things up. Maybe you blitz Y, you get those dual pressure. Maybe you go with something like this. Or maybe just man up X. You could go ahead, put Y in like a spot. There's just a lot of things you can do, especially out of the cover 3, to mix it up. You guys see, I send 5, although I don't get pressure. He can't roll out because those corners are on contains. And he's going to have to sit in the pocket and make a read out of bunch. It's a very rollout heavy offense. So it's going to be very annoying, especially with those contains, for him to try and throw the ball effectively. I'll show it one more time. Slant outside, contain. Shade underneath, shade over the top. Shade outside if you want. I'm in the wrong play. And yeah, you just end up bagging this. Just switch between cover 2, cover 3, cover 2, cover 3. It just gets so annoying, especially as from an offensive perspective. For some reason, we just can't get pressure. But there we go. From an offensive perspective, like I said, very annoying to play against. Simply just because you never know what defense they're running. You never know if they're sending 4. Are they sending 7? I have to max protect every play. I know when I go against this form, I really want to max protect every play because otherwise I'm going to get sacked or make a quick read. That's just me, just because I do run a pocket passer. But yeah, it's pretty much going to do it for this ebook. Like I said, written version, pinned in the comments and in the description. Go check that out. I'll leave every setup as well as the timestamps to the video, so if you want to go back and rewatch the video, go back to that spot, you can find where I talk about each play. And that's going to go ahead and do it. Peace. I'm out of here.